YouTubers, this is Camera Prepper here. Hope you're doing really well on this fine day. Today I'm going to talk about my plans on security, what I have in place now and what I'm going to prepare in future. My decision to stay put is my decision, and for my family and for my loved ones. It didn't come lightly. I have thought about it many times. My original plan was to bug out, but I have officially decided to stay put for my family. More important, obviously, I have children and I have illnesses as well as my wife has illnesses as well, and it will be logistically a nightmare to take everything from A to B, so to speak, to get out into safety. That's not to say that if a situation that arises, I do have a plan to bug out if need be, but for now I'll be staying put and then fortifying my house as well as the neighbourhood around my area as well, to make sure that we are safe if, God forbid, anything was to happen. Security, as you well know, has two stages in security. One, it deters a person, and two, it slows them down. The first stage, obviously, it deters. You can have all these security as well. For the normal person breaking in, it would be a case they would sort of, find something sort of easier target. But any other would-be person or a group of burglars or people that want to take your stuff, they will try and break in as much as they possibly can. It doesn't matter how much security you have, they will get in. And this is where security will be effective, because obviously, A, it will slow them down, so it gets you into a defensive position to defend yourself and to get them out as quick as possible and to defend your family. I have a few ideas what I want to do. There's a few I have in place. I've written everything down, hence why you see me with my notepad and pen to hand. So I'm going to go through the list I've got now. I have two parts of my plan. The first plan, obviously, is if the disaster is only minute. So for instance, there's still law on the streets, there's still police around, there's no martial law, there's no anything like that, where you can still be arrested for doing certain things. And the second thing, obviously, is a world without law. So the police, the army, fire service, ambulance, all gone off to their own families to protect theirs, which is, is their right to do so. So I've got two stages of what I want to do, with obviously different aspects and things like that. So the first stage, obviously, again, is if we have law enforcement lingering around or martial law, is I will have stage one will be, obviously we have deadbolts. I'm going to put everything up here on the screen up here. We have deadbolts, which is things that will go, which are like a bolt that goes into the ground, or into the ceiling, and you put a padlock on it at the bottom and or at the top, to prevent any would-be attackers or burglars who want to come in. Obviously this is a primitive way and you can easily get in, so you need a little bit of extra security. The next one is door bars. You can get two versions, obviously. Door bars can go across the door itself, or there's a bar that can goes right underneath the handle, so if someone tries to undo the handle, they will struggle itself in doing so. And if a bar goes in across the door itself, when they physically open the door, they're met with a bar going across. I plan on putting them into the wall itself, so we have literally a little bit more extra security in that self. You have window bars. Obviously, I have a few windows around my house, so I need a few window bars. Again, this will only slow them down. If they have certain cutting tools, they could easily get into the house. Next one will be floodlights. Floodlights is an early warning system which I'll be placing around the house, front and back, and literally if on stage 2, I'll be putting it down, literally now down in my neighbourhood. Try to aim it around the house so it covers the whole building, so you have a full 360 sort of cover of the old building itself. CCTV is another way of floodlights, really, so you can see what's going on. With CCTV, you would have to have someone monitor it 24/7, so you need someone awake, obviously, at that time. And then you have door alarms as well. I'm planning on putting on door alarms on every single door, so that if we are asleep at night, we can respond quickly as possible to the situation that arises. Stage 2, I'm trying to get through this as quick as possible so it doesn't run into more than 20 minutes like I normally do. So stage 2, bearing in mind there's no more law, so the police have gone at home, the military, there's no martial law or anything like that, so you can basically defend your home to how you see fit and to protect your family. So stage 2, I plan on purchasing some barbed wire to go around the house itself, and cover parts of the front garden as well, just to, again, to deter them, to slow them down. It's not going to stop them. It might deter them for a few minutes if they've got cutting tools, but it's one way to slow them down. But obviously it can injure. You could put a electric fence around there as well instead of barbed wire, but you've got to think about it in a disaster situation. Are you going to have the energy to supply that fence with electricity? If I haven't got solar panels or anything like that, I'm not going to be able to do that. You do have, obviously, one of the worst ones is traps as well. You can have traps, so man-made traps to stop humans from entering your buildings. That's obviously, definitely, I wouldn't recommend doing this whilst there's still law in the street, but you can have traps around your house. So I am looking at the possibility to looking at that or studying it a bit more. Not to say that I will be doing it, but I might be looking into that. So next one, I want to put an outpost. Obviously you don't know where my house is and the location, but we're on a cul-de-sac that's just off the main road, and it goes over a bridge. So there's only one entrance and there's only one exit to our cul-de-sac itself, via road, obviously. It's not to say that people can't come 5 foot behind us over the fields and stuff like that, which they can. But I plan on putting an outpost just on near the bridge, so that we can keep a lookout of any vehicles coming to and from, obviously, from the main road as well. So we do have a big building to the east of us as well, which is only probably about 30-40 feet away. That's not too much, a bit more now, about 100 feet away. It's like an old church, so it has a big a bell tower, I would say, so we can have a look out there as well if possible. So there is possibilities of doing that as well. We can also look at the possibility of, in the stage 2, is the bridge closure as well. So permanently, literally putting something across this bridge to defend it. But also you can look at obviously taking that bridge out, which is the last resort, obviously, because then it will prevent us from leaving via vehicle. So we would have to leave via foot. So it's a 50-50 thing to figure out what to do. So yeah, so that's my sort of idea what I want to do. So I want to get some deadbolts and door bars, window locks and window bars, I should say, floodlights and CCTV around the house. You only can do the best you can. Eventually people will, if they're determined enough, they will break in. That's a must. I'll explain it a bit more in part 2 as well, what if they do break in, what I recommend, what you can have available as well. But all you need to do is try the best you can to slow them down, so that you are in a position to defend yourself and your family, and you can get your children to safety as well. So this is part one of security for myself and what I'm aiming to do. I'll see you in part two, so have a fantastic day. This is John, out.